Yes, the Goosefraba.
Yes.
The anger.
The anger man.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's a deep cover.
Oh, the design. Meant to be nitered. We live in the age of technology and this constant need to share everything online. That being said, not everything needs to be shared, nor should it be. DIY is a very hit or miss topic, and sometimes it ends up being more like DIY. Like, why would you have done this to yourself in this situation? On the other hand, I have also seen some really handy and creative people create some beautiful items for their home, and when it's done well, it is done well. And it really allows you to transform the overall space or the item that you're customizing. Today, we're gonna go through some of the best and some of the most questionable DIYs that are out there. And trust me, there are like an unbelievable amount. I feel like we could turn this into an entire series because it would take a lifetime to go through the amount of stuff that people post online, whether it's good, bad, like ugly, pretty, there's a lot. As always, on any opinionated videos, I have to include a quick disclaimer because there is absolutely no hate or disrespect directed towards these content creators. I understand budgets are super important and they vary from person to person. Not everything can be completely outsourced to a working trade professional, and I get that. We all learn in different ways, and this is just my professional opinion on their designs and creations. I'm also gonna give some constructive feedback on how I think it could have been done better if it ends up not being so great. Working in both the commercial and residential sector as an interior designer for well over 10 years now, I have seen some pretty questionable things, not only online, but in person, and it makes me question absolutely everything. Welcome back to my channel if you've not seen my videos before. My name is Phoenix Gray, aka Design Daddy, and this channel is all about interior design. Regardless of your renting or renovating, I'm here to help. You can also join my free design newsletter in the description box below where I answer all of the most commonly asked interior design questions, because yes, there are a lot of commonly asked questions that I get consistently. This is my go-to and it's gonna answer anything you may need to know. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Mr. Phoenix Gray, where you can see all my daily design tips and tricks every day of the week. Now let's get into this.
She blessed, ay, giving you my best. Nerves, she think that I need her, kick her to the car.
Oh dear God, I don't even need to watch this entire video to stop it there and tell you that this is an absolute disaster. Oh, they're epoxying over floor tiles and they're doing the entire floor. Epoxy is a commercial grade construction item. The only time I would ever recommend doing something like this is in your garage because it makes it like waterproof. Oh, but your entire floor, and the fact that they also added in the marble ripples and effects. Oh, this is an absolute disaster, whether you do this DIY or you get someone to do this professionally. Oh Lord, this is going to be an absolute nightmare that if they ever sell this home and this has to be removed, because depending on what this epoxy is, it is also not UVA or UVB resistant, which means it's going to yellow over time. And if you are in a hot climate, it's going to expand and contract depending on, you know, the seasons, which makes it also prone to cracking. The only time I ever see epoxy done well is when it's epoxy art and it's on a canvas. I would not recommend doing this for any home whatsoever, because at the end of the day, they're also spending a lot of money on this if it's done professionally. I would have honestly removed those tiles and just either replace them with hardwood or new tiles if that's what you want to go as a route, because this, you're gonna end up paying almost as much to replace the flooring as you would be to epoxy over literally everything. Now you just turned your home into like a fancy looking, super high reflective garage. Not the vibe.
So a new feature that's happening in a lot more houses now is this new style of trim where it's actually trimless. You can see it's absolutely all over.
I love a flush trim. Like you said, this is a very new style that's coming in now, works so well with contemporary homes. It really gives you that beautiful minimalistic finish because the drywall is now flush. You don't have that offset backing of the trim and toe kick for the surround, which also can make your space feel even larger and feel more expanded because that flooring footprint now goes all the way to the wall where the drywall meets. 100% Design Daddy approved, but as he mentioned, this needs to be done professionally and it needs to be by someone that knows what they're doing, because if this isn't done correctly, these clean lines are gonna end up looking more like a nightmare than they do an artistic approach to the overall design. I would love to see more of this in homes because I think this is beautiful. It really adds so much extra attention to detail that most trades would pass up on, which kind of worries me because most trade professionals, they want to get it done quick and out of the way, which means if I were to show someone to this, they're probably going to hate me if they have to install it, but I love it.
Have you ever had one of those days where you're in the mood for caviar, but you feel like, oh my gosh, I should be on a private jet eating caviar so I can enjoy my caviar first class exclusively here in the comfort of my own home, and I'm gonna give a little caviar experience. You get a little pancake.
Rich people literally be doing the fucking most, and it is the absolute worst. Oh my God, I've seen videos of Jackie Segal before, or Seagull, whatever you wanna call her. First of all, her Olive Garden kitchen was already a red flag. But the fact that she's like, you know what? I'm so rich. I'm gonna flip my hair. I have caviar every morning. I want to build a private fucking jet unit in my living room so I can just sit here and have my caviar on my fucking biscuits. Like, girl, fix your kitchen first before you add this in. Oh, this is not Design Daddy approved. This is giving the late 2000s photo booth. I'm an influencer on a private plane. No, do not recommend. Oh, this is bad. This is the perfect example. Nina and Dylan, I've never seen this video before, I don't know who they are, but taking this old fixer-upper and turning it into like this bespoke custom home, I think they did a fantastic job. I also love that they brought in a lot of these arch details from the original design and they married it in so well to this new style that they did for this entire renovation. Like it says they did 3 years for this renovation. Design Daddy approved. If Nina and Dylan see this video, kudos to you. I love this. You did a fantastic job. That kitchen looks stunning.
Things in our new house that was previously owned by major DIYers that just make sense.
This is the perfect example of why and how some DIYers are just DIY disasters. Like they did it as cheaply as possible. First of all, whatever was on that stone was just falling off. The particle board shelf, they put half in a wall to make it look custom. Oh my God, the junction box you still see on the ceiling that they added in. Oh, the comments are like, crazy. They're like, it gives the home character. No, it does not. There are so many disastrous DIYs out there that in function, you see what they look like in the afterlife. They do not last. They do not hold up to wear and tear. And there are some things that honestly just need to be left to the professionals because none of these DIYs in this video are Design Daddy approved, like at all.
Here are 3 upgrades I made to my home that I feel like are just absolutely worth it.
My blinds could be open from the top or the bottom for privacy and light control. These are by Hunter Douglas in the color journal.
I changed out my hinges so it's quieter, but you can also buy rubber bumpers from Amazon. It's like $5. I added LEDs to the bottom of all my bathrooms. That way, in the middle of the night, you don't get light blasted. Adds a super good ambiance. I have them under my kitchen cabinets too.
Super quick, I love this. 3 home upgrades that this Brianna Villa did. 1, absolutely love the open close middle blinds in her bathroom, which means they can open from the top or the bottom, which is perfect for a sense of privacy. They also add in so much additional light without blocking out the view. She did a great job in my opinion, because honestly, these are super easy DIYs that technically aren't really DIYs. You can just do them yourself. Soft close on any drawers is the absolute luxury. If you cannot change out the hardware, she suggests using those rubber stoppers at the end will still do a great job instead of slamming those cabinets and breaking them over time. And the third one, adding those LEDs underneath the strips within the toe kick of your millwork in your vanity or your kitchen. Perfect for giving that low level light in the evening when you don't want to turn on those big lights.
Miter? I hardly know her.
I love that they threw in that joke. Miter, we hardly know her. The fact that some DIYer was like, oh yeah, I can do door trim, and just measures it to the top. And then they put another piece over top, and the connection of them is so bad. The design of trim is meant to be mitered. So it is met at a 45-degree angle, so it looks like one continuous piece. Oh Lord, that would be a hellscape that I would like, I would have to fix that immediately because it would bother me so much. Are we living in the 1800s? Like, you have tools to do this properly. I got mixed feelings about this one. I personally love picture frame molding. When it is done correctly, it works so beautiful in the space because it really adds the extra level of detail, that depth and dimension on those blank walls. The fact that she only did it about halfway up the wall from the sofa upwards means that she didn't commit to the rest of the room. If you are doing this picture frame molding style, the style of it has to be consistent throughout the entire room. So if you are committing to it, do the entire perimeter so it feels like that room matches that style. If you were to just do it on this half wall like this all the way up, it looks out of place. I will give her props for filling in the holes and make sure it's painted so it looks beautiful and all singular in the design, but I would have committed to the overall space just to make it look a little bit nicer. Otherwise, you know what? She did a great job.
Wait, hold on. This is paper? Wait. Oh my God.
Oh God. This is the landlord special. The fact that they were like, you know what, there's a hole in the wall. Let's put a piece of, first of all, wet paper towel. Then we're going to like epoxy smash it and then paint over top. Oh, there should be honestly like a rule book that landlords have to go through if they are going to be renting out spaces and own property like this, because this is bad. This sets such a bad name and example for living in a space when the holes are literally just patched together like this. Do it properly with the drywall that's needed to actually put the spackling and paint it so it looks consistent, because this is one disaster after another waiting to happen. I can only imagine the other issues that they have in this house. Okay, this is the last one. Please let it be a good one. Let's end on a happy note.
Dream coffee table using serving bowls from IKEA, and it is so much easier than you think. So these are the serving bowls. I'm sure you've all seen them at IKEA at some point, and I'm going to be attaching together all 6 bowls to create 3 ball shapes. And then outside, I got a 4x4 piece of plywood, and I just randomly drew a shape on the front of it, and then I sanded down those edges just so they were nice and clean. I also brought the balls outside once the wood filler was dried. Final step for all of this is just giving it a coat of gel stain, and the gel stain I used was in the color called Kona, and I absolutely love the way that this coffee table ended up looking. And I've seen similar coffee tables online for thousands, so this for a little under 200 is great.
You know what? I'm glad we ended on this one because I think this is a great kind of approach to DIYs that could be done well. Lone Fox is known for everything that he does in terms of DIYs. He's done some really beautiful pieces. I love this kind of DIY hack with mixing the IKEA and some particle board to really make their own coffee table. The balls on the bottom look fantastic. The gel stain is great because it will always stick to whatever wood you are using to really give that deep, rich color. The only criticism I would have is for the particle board that they used for the surface of this coffee table. It is going to show all the levels of detail, which yes, work really well with his home style, but from a practical standpoint, you may get some slivers if you are cleaning this surface. I would have done something, even an MDF that would accept that stain to work really well to give you a more consistent, flat, cleanable surface when it comes to a coffee table that you are constantly wiping down. If you're eating off it, your drinks are on it, you're going to get staining and etching from the water or a spill. That would be my only approach. Otherwise, I think this is a fantastic DIY and I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Well, that was a lot. Honestly, the good, the bad, and ugly, like I said, there are so many ways you can transform your home, and I hope with these videos, you can have a little bit more feedback or even get inspired on what can work and what might not work for your home. Once again, this is not meant to be classist in any way. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to make things work. And as long as you're happy with it, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. If I could give any rounded advice though, I would say leave the trade work to professionals. I'm talking about waterproofing behind tiles, any electrical work or plumbing. It comes down to insurance. And if you did something yourself, it's going to contradict what may ruin your house at the end of the day. My very first job in the field was working for an insurance company and rebuilding and designing homes after a fire, flood, or even a disaster. I would hate to see any of these trade work DIYs cause some serious damage to your home and not be covered by insurance, because if it's not done by a licensed trade, be careful and please be safe. As always, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to create so much beautiful content that you all love. And trust me, I see your comments, and guess what? I am the actual one that responds to them. Thank you so much. It means a lot to see all your comments and likes to build this incredible community. Be sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Mr. Phoenix Gray to see all my daily design advice. And sometimes if you're lucky, you'll see that shirtless photo in your stories. Now, if that doesn't incentivize you to follow me on there, then I guess I literally have no hope. But I'm just throwing it out there. It's all I got. It's all I got. Ugh. And remember, if you're ever second guessing yourself, just ask, what would Design Daddy do? Not do some of those DIYs. We're good.